Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Newton from the Cranert School, and I'm joined by Pablo Puente, who is an associate with Mayor Brown in Chicago. We're going to talk about your law career in just a minute, but first, what brought you to Purdue was the Business Opportunity Program. Talk about how you learned about that and why it was important to you as a Boilermaker.
Yeah, of course. So I actually became a Boilermaker early on in my life, actually. I had two older brothers that attended Purdue as engineers. So since I was a very young kid, I've always known that I wanted to come to Purdue. Originally, actually, I was supposed to be an engineer just like them. Realized the Cranert School of Management is fantastic here and switched my career path to that. When I thankfully was very fortunate to get into Purdue accepted, I got a phone call from Darren Henry offering me this spot in the Business Opportunity Program in BOP, and it just sounded like the coolest thing in the world. But I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I get here, and actually, not a lot of people know this, but I was not the best high school student. I was not very motivated, was not getting the best grades. But I get here and I meet these BOP people, and they're just beyond motivated, have so much initiative, and that's an understatement. And that quickly made me realize I really need to step up my game to be able to be with the people here at Purdue. I mean, it's another level when you come here. And yeah, I mean, that switch in my life, I mean, family members can tell, it completely changed my personality, my way of thinking, and has helped me to this day with everything I do.
Now, some people may not know the Business Opportunity or BOP summer program. It's actually the Dr. Cornell A. Bell Business Opportunity Program. Is basically a chance for you to come in before your freshman year, work with a cohort of students, fellow students, and take basically a semester's worth of courses or close to a semester's worth before you start, which gives you a head start, but it also gives you a support group on campus.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the people are beyond impressive. The fact that you do get a couple credits is a plus. I mean, it's great, but I think the main thing you get is you get used to being at Purdue. You get used to being in this higher level education program. I already knew some of the faculty members. I knew my way around campus. It's just that little advantage that you get that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do.
Pablo, you really took advantage of your time here. It seemed like every time I looked up when you were in school, it was Pablo Puente's doing this or this or that. The extracurriculars, how did they add to your experience here?
I mean, they were my life when I was here. I mean, between some of the organizations I joined, Delta Sigma Pi, SMEF, obviously BOP had already ended, but like you said, they're still your support system. I joined some things outside of Cranert as well. I mean, they changed my life, consumed my life in the best way possible. Allowed me to meet people I would have not been able to meet otherwise. Allowed me to go to events I wouldn't have known to go otherwise. I mean, they change who you are for the absolute best, put you in the best position to succeed. And I mean, I could not encourage younger students more to join any organization they're even remotely interested in.
You also went to class while you were here. Talk about either of your favorite classes or a couple of professors that really have stayed with you over these years.
So obviously, since I went to law school, I was very close to Cliff Fisher. He only technically teaches, I think, one class, at least when I was here for the undergrads, business law. But by the time I graduated, I think I had taken at least 5 classes with him. I mean, he goes out of his way to help students. I mean, I did like 2 independent studies with him. I did some seminars with him. I did business law with him. He mentored me to get into law school. So, I mean, obviously, because I have the legal track, those legal classes that I took here were fantastic. And, I mean, it's great because not a lot of business schools offer that. And, I mean, we have a great business law program.
One of the things we talk about at Cranert is you never know where a management degree can take you. I would say the attorney profession, the lawyer profession, is not the typical path, but it's not also something that we never see. Why did you decide to do that, and how did Cranert prepare you for it?
Yeah, so I think I'm actually, when I went to law school, I didn't know this, but I was actually in the minority. A lot of these students that go to law school come from liberal arts backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, music backgrounds, I mean, all over. I mean, I was in a class of, I think, close to 200. I think there was maybe 5 people that had the business background. And I knew I wanted to do something in finance. I really liked finance. So it really helped me with the little things, the terminology, the business mindset. I mean, my clients right now are all banks, and like, I know how to relate with them. I know their lingo. I know how to talk to them. It gives me that little advantage that some other people may not have that weren't in business school.
I mentioned at the onset you're with Mayor Brown. Talk a little bit about what you do for them and where you're located.
Yeah, so Mayor Brown is headquartered in Chicago. That's the office I'm in. That's the biggest office. They have offices, I think, in 4 continents. We have close to 20 offices total, so we're a very global law firm. I'm in the finance group. Within that, I am in the securitization group. That's my little niche. I did not know what securitization was when I first started. I had to look it up, but it is beyond interesting. I love my job. It is something that is so complicated that I will probably not fully understand for many, many years, but that is a great thing because I love that I go into the office every day and I know I'm going to keep learning stuff. It's not a job that's boring. It's not a job that it keeps me entertained.
Entertained is good. It's good for people who love their profession. For those students that you're going to be talking to, and maybe prospective students out there, what advice would you give them in terms of a career and in terms of choosing a school and the right program for them?
Yes, I mean, obviously, when you're in school, I could not encourage you more to join organizations of any sort. But I think the number one piece of advice that has helped me, and I was thankful to be able to know this early on in my careers, put yourself in uncomfortable situations while you're in school, and even when you're a recent grad, when you're out of there, because when you're young, there is no real big repercussion from failing. And you may not even fail in the first place, but even if you do, you may be embarrassed for a little bit. You may have a bad day or something like that, but nothing really bad happens. So this is the place, this is the time to do that. You will learn so much of who you truly are when you put yourself in these uncomfortable situations, and they'll help you out throughout your lifetime.
Pablo, I hope this was not one of those uncomfortable situations that you talk about. Thank you for coming back and sharing your wisdom with our students.
Of course, thank you.
For Pablo Puente, I'm Tim Newton.